going.
Sweet.
We getting and we going. We getting.
All right,
and going.
we're gonna just
and going.
we're gonna just stop that.
In your head, lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
You didn't like that getting and going?
No, did not like that. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time,
Yes.
or every time.
Yeah, we can always do that routine over and over.
I have a moaning dog in front of me and a meowing cat to the left of us.
Yes, my animal's quite annoying sometimes. Go downstairs.
Gwen, don't listen to him.
But yes, last week we did our first hentai episode.
You're skipping.
I
Hey
am
guys,
skipping.
we are Soul of a Gamer.
Yeah, that too.
We don't always do our intro like the same, but Soul of a Gamer, I'm Scott.
I'm Steven.
And every week we come at you with the game we play and we tell you about it.
Yeah, and last week was, like I said, Mirror.
Yes, our first hentai game, which we actually did like playing, but then didn't like a lot of the
Stories with it.
concept and stories. And there was a lot about that game that I think could have been improved with time.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of darkness you can get into a game. Like, I know a lot of people love Last of Us 2, but I couldn't finish that game just because it was too dark too much of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is funny because I played this first one
Many
at
times.
least 7 times. Yeah.
Weird.
It's just so much darker.
All right, well, this week's game is...
Spec Ops, The Line.
Is Spec Ops a big chain of games or something?
I don't think it was, huge. I think this was their biggest game, but I think there was a couple...
Okay,
I know there was some games, called, Spec Ops in their tail name of it, too, I thought,
Wasn't
too.
Spec Ops the... Shoot, I'm trying to think of that stupid game on the N64 now. Oh, I can't think of it. I think it's made by the same people who made this other game that's super popular.
Maybe.
Isn't Spec Ops Rainbow Six?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think
I think
so.
it was Rainbow Six that I was thinking of. Maybe not. All right, well, Spec Ops The Line. This is a first-person shooter, kind of a tale of a soldier game.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into it with...
What's on the box?
What's on the box?
The box?
The box.
Well, all right. Intense and unique war shooter.
I'll stop you there. There's nothing. I don't know why everyone does this. This type of game has never been released before. No, of course it's not unique. It's just a shooter.
This one's a little unique in the story aspect.
But it's not
But the gameplay is not unique.
In that sentence, intense and unique war shooter, the way they're saying it is the combat's unique, and it's really not. It's actually really fucking annoying a lot of the time. I think they should have probably put that intense war shooter with a unique story.
I guess it was unique because I think it was one of the first squad control games.
No, not even.
Well, for first-person shooters. Military-wise, I think the only
Halo
one...
Reach came out before this one, and that one was a squad controller game.
Well, you didn't...
Yeah. You pressed the directional pad to place them in places, I'm pretty sure. So there were a few... I remember a few squad controller games, and... Before that, you have Knights of the Old Republic, which you could direct your squad to do. Dragon Age actually had an entire way to have your squad do certain things in certain situations.
Okay.
So I think they're just going with unique to make this game sound cool, and it's not.
Well, because I know Battlefield also did that with saying it was unique because you could switch soldiers in the middle of battle.
Okay, like a bunch of games.
Yeah.
A unique shooter. You shoot a gun.
It was unique as in it's not the very mainstream one. It's just very off on the
and this one is I read some stuff on it, and they were even talking about a sequel for this game. They said no, it just didn't do it well enough for us to warrant a sequel. So really, it's not that great of a game.
Yeah, it didn't
pushing wise.
More of one of those cult following games afterwards, where a lot of people really appreciate it now.
Yeah,
especially in the times and stuff today. But when it came out, it was just blown out by Call of Duty and Ghost Recon and Battlefield.
It's so hard to get
Halo.
into a shooter game at all when you've got all these giant shooters that have been around for 20 years all around you.
Oh yeah,
you have to do something completely different in order to break that market now. So all right, well, continue.
So yes, it's been 6 months since Dubai was wiped off the map by a cataclysmic sandstorm.
I don't think I remember catching that I thought it was years.
I don't think I remember them saying
how long it was,
or maybe even saying how long.
I don't
it
think
was,
they did. I think I just figured it's been years because it seemed like it's been years. But
yeah, with as much as it was destroyed. And
yeah,
stuff,
well, as much that was going on around the fucking city, yeah.
And how much was destroyed and stuff already? You kind of is like, this happened all 6 months? Damn.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
that makes more sense at the end of the game now. That's why, that body is like that.
For sure.
Okay.
So thousands of lives were lost, including those of American soldiers sent to evacuate the city. Today, the city lies buried under sand, the world's most
Decorated?
opulent ruin? Opulent ruin?
Opulent, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I can't speak, guys. Now, a mysterious radio signal is picked up from Dubai, and a Delta recon team is sent to infiltrate the city. Their mission is simple: locate survivors and radio for evac.
What a weird mission to have.
Yeah.
Just get in there. If you find survivors, just kind of call us.
And we'll come get you
And
once
we'll
you
come
find
get
them.
you.
I mean, I feel like there are like rescue missions kind of like that.
Yeah, true, but it's weird because you can't even get radio signals outside.
Yes.
So how the hell would they locate survivors and then walk all the way back to the beginning and then radio everyone for help?
Yeah.
Also, no vehicles. We don't feel like giving you vehicles.
Pretty much.
Like, we're so weird.
Yeah, I definitely like. Which I don't know if vehicles would have been too easy.
Other people were driving them.
Oh, I guess that's true.
So there must have been a way.
But yeah, no, it's just kind of weird. Like, I like how this doesn't really give anything away for the story, but I do wish it gave probably a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because like even just saying how like it's kind of like a mental thriller.
Well, if you say that, I think you ruin the entire end of the game.
I guess you kind of
so
do.
I see why they didn't do that. I think they gave enough with this. This game is not super good, but it's not bad, you know? So it's like right in the middle there. So you don't really need a lot to push people to play it because enough people didn't play it already. So
True.
All right, well, moving on.
Are we jamming?
A game that actually spent money on a soundtrack.
Yeah, it actually did pretty good. I like the soundtrack a lot.
It was very much like what you think of when you watch a military movie and you hear the music that's playing right then. You get like.
So it was loose. Like you'd only have one or two songs every once in a while, and then mostly you'd have the combat music in the background. But that was really cool of them to get like Magic Carpet Ride, I think was in there, or maybe it was Hush. I don't remember from Steppenwolf. It's one of those two songs. And they had like a couple of Deep Purple songs, I believe, in there because the DJ guy was really cool. Like they did buy some songs, and it's cool to hear those every once in a while. And then the music itself, the ambiance music was fine too.
Yeah,
I thought everything in this game was pretty like normal, at par of what I expected. So
yeah, I actually did like kind of really enjoy like a lot of the aspects of it. I liked the sound effects were pretty good. I liked the voice acting a lot.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually pretty good, especially for a military game. And one of the things I have to give credit to this game, and even Corey was watching me play a little bit of this game, and my brother, by the way, if you guys don't know. But he was watching me play. We both noticed, like, when you're actually, like, ducking behind cover and, like, telling your squad things or, like, reloading, like, your character actually moves its lip and says, "I'm reloading!"
No, that's cool.
And, like, you can actually catch them actually speaking, even, like, not in cutscenes, which didn't happen a lot in a lot of older games. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, and the music and dialogue were pretty good in this game. Again, just what I expected. It was normal. It was all, like, at par. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't shit. So pretty normal, pretty so far normal game for the games we normally do.
As far as military games go, this is one of my favorite stories as far as dialogue and stuff goes with it. And we'll get more into that once we actually get into the story. But I think this one is definitely in my top military games because of that reason.
All right, moving on to my favorite segment.
How does it play?
I'm
like
waiting for
complete
it.
fucking garbage. Are you out of your fucking mind? Oh god, this is the most annoying fucking game in the world. All right, I have an example for you.
Okay, go for it.
Just if you're gonna have a squad game where your squad does shit, they need to do shit. They need to be able to fucking shoot people and kill them.
I thought mine did decent.
No. So they never shoot certain mobs of enemies. So anytime
That's
a guy
true.
with a knife was coming,
Yeah,
they
they
would
never
never
shot.
fucking shoot him.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, So there's a point where you're in the water place, and there's a downstairs and upstairs, and there's for some reason 2 fucking guys spawn upstairs.
Yeah.
After I already cleared it up there,
Which was
so
stupid.
I have to go back and go kill them. Otherwise, they're gonna shoot me from below as I'm going downstairs. And there's a guy downstairs with a knife that runs by, and I'm like, okay, if I leave both of them down there, they're gonna take them out. And I'm all the way upstairs, and I kill those 2 guys, and I turn around and I die because the guy with the knife is right
here's
there.
Here's the stupid thing about the guy with the knives. I fucking hate these guys because they had fucking Dark Soul invincibility roll.
Yeah, they do like a little dodge. That makes sense though. Otherwise, there's no point in having them. But like,
so annoying.
My biggest problem is that you cannot put a squad mechanic in there, like, and tell them, "Hey, guard this area," and then they just let fucking people through.
Yeah, that was kind of bad with that.
Yeah, and the fact that they just run out so many times, my guys died because they're just fucking running out. They're out in fucking like nothing, and they're like, oh, I got this guy, as they're shooting at the fucking ceiling.
There was a couple times that I had to like restart certain areas and stuff because they would both like go out and one would die, and then you'd go send one to heal it, but he's out in the open, so he dies too.
Yeah, you can't send them to heal at all. I never got a successful heal off with sending them out.
I got 2 successful heals, but he just happened to die behind a wall.
Yeah.
And I just threw a flashbang and then let him heal.
It's ridiculous how bad this game was with that faucet. They really should have done a little bit more with the mechanics of the team because they're Delta Force. They're supposed to be like the elite of the elite, and fucking nothing. You're the only elite one.
Pretty much.
Unless you're on that sniper part where Lugo was sniping. It's the only time where one of them was fucking useful.
Yeah. I did like Lugo sniping on a couple of different times, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad.
And especially even if you called him to shoot someone, a lot of times he did pretty decent on it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did it during the normal gameplay, they just shoot at the area they're in and miss them nonstop.
True.
It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And they were the most annoying characters in the world too, because even in their story, they're just like constantly fighting.
Oh my god, that was one of the annoying parts. But I will have to agree. It's just especially because like. One was kind of like on your side, and the other one was against both of you.
Yeah.
And they just kept on like, especially when they actually like started like punching each other. Like you guys are trying to be quiet, sneaking up on people, and you're screaming at each other and punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are you doing?
And I don't know the mechanics in this game. I hate the stealth mechanics. Stealth kills are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, shoot one, and I'll shoot the other one. And then you do that, and they don't shoot the other one.
Yeah,
and I'd be like,
sometimes it would, and most of the time it didn't.
So what you have to do is have them target and then quickly shoot.
Oh.
And I'd be like, why the fuck with that mechanic? Like, how could I go from here to here super fast?
Yeah.
Like, even on mouse and keyboard, I'm like, well, I'm alerting everyone again. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
I just got to the point where I got so sick of it. The only time I actively went for stealth was during the Gould part, where you either save him or save the other guy, and I saved the civilians, and you go around, and you have to kill like 3 people if you stealth, or you have to kill 1,400 people if you fucking shoot anyone. So
Yeah, no, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I will say like some of the things that a lot of the gunplay I didn't really care for. The shooting mechanics weren't the greatest.
No, the guns were bad.
I
liked some of them. I really hated at the end of the game, guys, you get this fucking sweet ass
Oh
fucking
my
like
God.
it's not a rocket launcher, but it basically just fucking just
that
destroyed
grenade launcher
No,
thing?
no, the shotgun.
Oh, that one's
It's
ridiculous.
a
It's a
rocket.
one-shot kill on everything.
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
much.
fucking rocket launcher, and it shoots
stupid.
like a fucking machine gun.
Yeah.
So you could shoot like 14 rounds in 1 second, and you get that for 4 fucking kills. 4.
I think I picked it up a little earlier.
No, I picked it up at the very end of the game. That was the only
picked it
time
up in the last mission, but I got way more than 4 kills.
No, there was only a point where there was 2 guys up top. I threw a grenade at.
A different weapon.
There were 2 that came down, so I shot those 2, threw a grenade, killed the 2 up top, and then there was 1 more dude with armor and 1 more normal dude, and I killed both of them, and that was it. That was the end. So unless it showed up,
that last armor dude that looks like Lugo or whatever.
No, there was another armor dude after him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's the one who drops it, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's where you get that gun, and you only get it for a few fucking kills. It's ridiculous.
Okay, there was one other gun that I'm thinking of too that I had, I think, for like the last 2 missions. It was one of the rifles. It was like one of the one-shot rifles.
Oh, it's the 50 cal. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 50
that
cal
thing
sniper.
was really good.
No, this is a shotgun that just fucking blows people to fucking nothing. But you only get it for a couple kills.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. That's such a fucking... What a terrible fucking way to put guns in your game. Like, and if you want to use them more, there's special weapons in multiplayer.
Well, and I didn't like sometimes the ammo was way too spread out, like the ammo caches, and like you would want to use like, especially at the beginning of the game, like one or two weapons were like
ammo
really
caches
good.
in one fucking area.
Yeah,
and you're like, why?
Like I didn't even use any of it here.
Yeah,
like I filled up 2 bullets here and 8 bullets here.
Yep.
Whereas, like, I went on this entire level and I had to get rid of both of my favorite guns and pick up.
Well, and I think that's the point, and I like that aspect of it where they, because I was getting so confused how the fuck they had so much shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're in the fucking desert and you're 6 months in and it's a limited supply of literally everything.
Yeah.
How the hell do they have so many bullets still?
I mean, military usually overcompensates.
Yeah, but you see how many people they were killing?
True.
So,
but they were killing some of them with the white phosphorus.
They were, some of them, but a lot of them, a lot of the times when you go down into a wall, you'd see blood splattered all over the wall and a bunch of like 50, 60 bodies on the ground.
But I mean, like, one ammo crate holds a lot of clips.
True. Well, I know that's why they were doing that, because you're in an area that's not easily accessible with guns and ammo. You can't just pick it up everywhere, but...
Well, and I think this takes place in around the time probably as like the war that was happening in Afghanistan. It seemed that way.
Yeah,
anyways.
probably.
So there was probably lots and lots of ammunition in those areas.
In Afghanistan? Nowhere near India.
Well, oh yeah, they were in India.
Yeah.
Duh.
Well, I mean, it's kind of near India, but not crazy close.
No, but they could have called supplies over.
Yeah, but they did, because they were in a sandstorm.
Yeah.
The 33rd. Yeah. All right, well, that's my beef on that. Movement was really sluggish. Didn't like the way you moved.
I
like
hated
the way
the
they
sprinting.
sprinted.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone gets into this thing where people have zero control of their sprinting.
Yeah, this is almost as bad as Vanquish's sprinting.
Yeah, they're like,
not as bad, but close.
Yeah, like it's just weird to fucking. You can only sprint in a straight line and slightly leer either way.
And I can't do anything while doing it. It looks so awkward. And the sprint button's also the duck under cover button.
Yeah, and that
also
was
the
really,
move out of cover button.
And that was the most annoying part too. Is you're in cover, and if you hit a direction to get out of cover, so normally I just go a direction and you're out of cover.
Yeah.
But you have to actually hit the cover button to properly get out of cover. You can still get out of cover going a direction, but it takes a lot fucking longer.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's a weird delay. I don't even know why there's a fucking delay between it.
And the damage in this game, I ended up dying quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have a lot of health. It tries to be, I think, a little bit more realistic.
Yeah,
than
which
most
is
shooters,
fine.
Which, I didn't mind. But
I would have been sweet if they would have given me
enemies,
that fucking armor that those other guys had.
Yeah, seriously.
I would have loved that. I would have been like, fuck you, bitches.
That was something I was waiting for almost the entire game, like picking up a bulletproof vest or something. Like, so a lot of games have that.
Yeah.
Where you pick up some sort of armor.
So, and we'll get into it in the story. You get one fucking helicopter, and that's all you get, but you don't even get to drive it. You're just shooting at it. And it's kind of an annoying, pointless mission.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, moving on.
It's story time. Let's get started.
All right. Well, story in this game, I don't know how I feel about it, because I like it and I hate it. Like, I didn't quite understand what the point of any of this was. I didn't understand if any of it was even real by the end of the game. I'm like, is all of this just in his fucking head?
Half of it was in his head.
Well, I mean, like, even the parts, like, in the beginning of the game, start of the game, and then when you get into the helicopter again, he's like, didn't we already do this?
Yeah.
So that's at the beginning of the fucking game.
Yeah.
So is he having, like, a mental flashback from everything that's happened? Is he making it all up as he goes? Like, what the fuck happened?
Both.
Like, it's just so weird. I think
it's a PTSD thing.
It is. It's a shell shock thing for sure, but it's just stupid. I think they went too hard on the shell shock. I think they were trying to make it as real as possible.
Yeah.
But I think they overdid it with the shell shock thing. They really overdid it. They went way too far.
I think, like, I agree with that in some aspects, but in other aspects, like, I thought, like, this game tackled it better than any other game I've seen do it.
I guess.
And it almost had, like, nowhere near BioShock kind of ending, but it had that kind of an ending.
So let me ask you this, Stephen. Who was the leader?
The leader of what?
The army. Who did we kill? Who was the leader?
Oh, well, John Conrad, he was the leader of the 33rd.
Yeah, he was already dead, so who was leading it at the point we were all fighting him?
No one.
Yeah, what the fuck happened? But there's a chain of command. If you kept hearing in the radio, they had a chain of command.
Yeah.
So clearly, I think they messed up. They didn't put a leader in.
Well,
I think it would have been smart because he mentioned somebody, and you never meet him.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what were like a couple of the things where I like wondered, like, if there was, but he didn't know who the leader was.
No. So he actually did. So this is before you start seeing the symptoms of shell shock, because I think it starts happening after you bomb all the civilians.
Yes.
So there's a point where he mentions, this son of a bitch, he's a 6 monster. Comrade second in command. He mentions him, and then you never fucking meet him.
Well, and at the beginning of the game, he mentions him, and he mentions him being like a good guy, and he knows that he wouldn't make the 33rd go rogue. Like
the Conrad would.
Yeah.
But his second in command, he said, is
yeah.
a sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then you never meet that guy. I couldn't find an instant.
remember.
Yeah, no, you don't. Like, there's no point where you kill that guy. So I was like, what is the point? And this guy even getting mentioned, like, because I thought maybe he was the leader now and Conrad was dead.
Well, unless like the CIA took over, because there was all the things.
Yeah,
with the
I guess,
CIA.
maybe. I don't know. It's just weird. It's very fucking strange.
Yeah, because there was all those things with the CIA going against the military and the 33rd. They're tracking down the 33rd, so it could have been that the CIA had taken over.
Yeah.
That's
The
probably
CIA
my
part
guess.
was also really weird. I didn't
that was
quite understand
if they
what
took
they
that
were
out, I
doing.
think it would be a lot less confusing.
Yeah, because that I didn't. It's like that. This is where I'm like, did that happen or did I imagine that?
I think that happened.
Because clearly, like, Adams and Lugo died. So my theory, by the end of the game, by the way, guys, Conrad's dead. He's the military guy who's been talking to you the entire game almost since you did something horrible by killing a bunch of civilians.
Yes.
But you're just going crazy. He's been dead for months.
Yeah.
Probably almost since the start.
Yeah.
Because his body is fairly petrified. Not enough time went for skeleton, but enough time went for that petrification.
Yeah.
And with all the sand around, it would have been calcified bones or whatever, so it would have kept it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but not a lot. So Conrad's dead,
Yes.
right? And you find him, and you're like you've been imagining him alive this entire time.
Yeah.
So then I expected what it was is you're fucking Conrad.
See, I almost thought that too.
Yeah, I thought
and
that
then
would
I
be
had
a
to,
cool
look
thing.
up afterwards, because I thought that was the whole thing, was that you were Conrad.
Yeah, and that you
But-
got up there and saw your dead body, and
Yeah.
this is right after you killed yourself or something.
Yeah.
Like something like crazy like that, and you just made up Walker in your mind so you could be a hero too.
Yeah.
But then even as a hero, you just kept making mistakes like you did as
Yes.
your regular person. I thought that would have been an interesting fucking story.
And see, that's exactly what I thought
Yeah.
the ending was at first too. And then I looked it up afterwards, and I was like, oh, they are two different people.
Yeah, they
Like,
are,
what?
but it's just stupid that they did that. And then there's apparently 4 endings. After I did the ending, I went ahead and looked it up because I'm like, what happens if I don't shoot Conrad?
Oh, yeah.
Then and it's so weird. You can either shoot yourself, have Conrad shoot you, and that ends the game immediately.
Okay.
Or you can shoot Conrad, and then you get the credits. And after the credits, there's another thing you can do.
Oh, okay.
Where the soldiers come in, and you have a gun in your hand. You have that sweet fucking shotgun in your hand.
nice.
I was so tempted to shoot all these soldiers. And you get the choice to either lay your gun down or shoot the soldiers, and I laid my gun down. I don't know what happens if you shoot the soldiers. I assume
okay.
you can either die or win, but maybe you can't even die. Maybe you just fucking kill them all.
I don't know.
Like, but you lay your gun down, and then you go into the Humvee, and the guy's like, hey, we passed a bunch of shit on the way here. What happened? And you're like, bad shit. Bad shit. Yeah, you've got these 2
Okay.
guys with you in the story, Adams and Lugo.
Yes.
And they're fucking annoying. They're your squad mates, and they both die.
Yeah.
Lugo's death was kind of sad.
Lugo's death was sad, and Lugo was definitely in the right most of the time.
I don't even know.
Based off of what we've heard of Lugo,
I guess, like...
because he was against them doing
no,
the bombing.
the
and he
weirdest
was,
fucking shit in the world, because both of them did weird shit.
Yeah.
So Adams, wanted to save those civilians, and then
Yeah.
later, like 2 missions later, he's screaming, "Get the fuck down, or I'll kill all of you!"
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, and you're like, what is going on? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And again, that's before the shell shock event, which I assume is the white phosphorus, because that's when you start
Yeah.
going crazy. So, that's what I assume is the catalyst for you going into the next stage of shell shock.
Yeah.
So it's just, and then Lugo did the same thing. He's like, we should just kill every civilian. And then he'd go and say, we can't fire the white phosphorus. That'll kill the civilian. And then you're
Yeah.
like, what is going on? There's too much mixed emotions here.
Yeah, no, there was too much of that for sure.
I think they just didn't write the characters very well. Like, they didn't hold to their own ideals. So I assume they just like wrote it in the moment and then kept it.
It almost felt like like watching the new trilogy of Star Wars, where you have like this happening, and then they're like, no, this character's not this way, he's this way, and then like you're like they just keep on
shifting
the things, and it's like multiple teams or multiple people are writing different parts of the game without actually talking to each other.
That's probably what happened, honestly, because it's such a weird fucking dynamic with those two. I will say the story was interesting.
Yeah.
I was very, like, the Dubai part was actually really cool. That whole idea that Dubai is, like, buried in sand now, and it's just continuous sandstorms happening. Mm-hmm. Like, that was cool.
And we didn't really talk about that in the gameplay, but I liked all the different things with the crashing down the sand and the windows and like
being like way up top of building, but you could like easily see the ground below you. That's how high the sand has gotten. Like that was really a cool concept.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah, but then I think the story's weirdness, the PTSD idea, kind of destroyed the aspect of the city and made it too much about that.
Yeah.
And I think like they did a good job with it, but they should have probably pulled back some things and added some things in order to make the PTSD more real.
Yeah.
I think like I said, adding Conrad as you.
Yes.
Maybe,
I definitely agree with that.
And this is why I think maybe you imagine the entire 33rd. Maybe you imagined all the fucking fighting up to this point, and then suddenly at the end, you're Conrad and you're like, I killed everyone. Because you made mistakes through the last 6 months, and you've just been like, constantly people have been dying.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's just really crazy with all those things, and like I gotta say, like I did. Like, one of the things for me is going through the game, like, I was really interested at first with what they were going with it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of started dying down. I started getting really confused.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't towards, like, the very end again, like, around where Lugo died and all that other shit started, like, all the crazy bad shit started happening, that I was like, this game's getting interesting. And then that ending happened, and I was like, whoa.
What
like,
just
I was
happened?
Not expecting that at all. What
Yeah.
the fuck was that? And I was like, this is so weird. And like the moment that did throw me off the most was probably the helicopter thing again. Because I was like,
why would he say
calling
that?
out to it.
So I think the original ending was something different.
Maybe.
I honestly think they rewrote the ending. Maybe the people didn't like the way they were going with the ending.
I don't know.
Developers or whatever, and then they decided to rewrite it and keep certain scenes.
It's a hard topic to put into a video game.
Yeah.
So I could see why they struggle with some of it. And I think they landed, and we knew that's what it was about.
Yeah.
We definitely know it was a PTSD thing, but I don't think they did it like the best they could have done. Like, this could have been on the same par
we know
as
it's
BioShock.
a PTSD thing, because at the end of the game, the guy says, hold on, soldier. He's shell-shocked.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes. And I'm like, how can you tell? You're like 100 feet away from me. How the fuck can you see my eyes? God damn.
True.
You're killing it, guy. You've got great eye vision. But yeah, the story, I really did like the story, though. Like, I thought it was a cool, interesting story. Just certain aspects I wish they would have changed.
Yeah.
Just to go into some of my favorite parts, the part where Lugo died, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was...
Because that was the best part. I was like, fucking finally, this stupid piece of shit fucking gets killed. It's the greatest part. When Adams died, I was a little sad. I like Adams a lot.
See, I was more sad when Lugo died, I think, just because I was like, he was right.
Well, he was wrong and right. He was both.
He was both, but...
He was both constantly.
He was the main one trying to stop them from doing the bombing.
Yeah, the white phosphorus, which
Yeah.
I tried to just kill everyone, but apparently that doesn't work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't just go and kill everyone. And I did. At one point, I'm like, okay, everyone's dead except for these rooftop people, and they just kept coming. So I'm like, so I think the game wants you to do the white phosphorus.
Oh,
I think you
okay.
have to. And now that knowing the end of the game, I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, you're stuck, like, bombing these people with white phosphorus,
Yeah.
somehow that everybody fucking has. I have
I
no
guess
idea.
we could explain that a little bit to everybody, that whole scene.
All right, go ahead.
Because you get this thing in your earpiece or whatever saying that these people had captured or were taking all the hostages or whatever of all the townspeople.
No.
Or
So what happens is the mission before this, you're trying to aid the CIA agents.
yes.
And in trying to aid the CIA agents, they get bombed with white phosphorus.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
immediately when Lugo goes, that's white phosphorus.
Yeah.
That's illegal. It's a war crime to use it.
Yeah.
So you end up on top of this building now in front of an entire army, which, again, how many fucking people were here, man? There's so
seriously,
many. Like,
that's
infinite
where-
people. They were like 5,000 people were in Dubai. I'm like, I killed like 6,000. Fuck you with your 5. But
Every mission had 50 to 100.
yeah, so So you find a mortar with the white phosphorus stuff in it, and there's an army below you, and the only way you can kill the army is by using the mortar.
Yes.
Lugo is against it, Adams is for it, which is so weird because that's opposite of what they were doing
And then
before.
you as the main character, you're like, it's the only way. We have no other option. Lugo, just shut up, and we're gonna fucking do this.
So
shit.
it was
Get on
obviously
there.
doable to kill everyone
Yeah.
because I
it.
killed everyone on the ground.
Yeah.
It took a long time, and you have to be really sparing with your ammo, and I died a bunch doing
Oh, I
it.
bet.
But then, like, the people on the rooftop, they have snipers spawn, and they just keep coming.
Oh, jeez.
So there's no... Because I thought there was a choice. I'm like, okay. Because they don't explain that you have to do that.
Yeah, because even Lugo and Adams kind of give it to you, like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
like
they
kinda
made
ask
it.
you that way.
They made it seem like there's a choice, but then there's actually you have to use it to be able to use the rappel that goes down.
Yeah.
The rappel.
Repel.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have like little thing. By the way, you just grab it with your fucking hands. So
Yeah, but
go
you have gloves on, but
You go down 150 feet. You just go
those
down
are
with your
some
hands.
manly men, man.
Yeah.
They can use their bare hands to go down 200 feet of steel rope.
Yeah, it's insane. But
Without cutting.
you can't repel unless you use the white phosphorus. So
Yeah.
there's really, they should have done a better job, I think, with that. But the white phosphorus, they don't know that there's civilians down there that you had rescued before in the mall.
One of the other. Oh yeah, that's
So those
right.
were the people you rescued in the mall. And
the military had moved them there.
with the white phosphorus, you have a little camera that only shows you not
Heat signatures.
Yeah, heat signatures, not infrared. Infrared?
Yeah,
not
infrared.
really. It's the white one. It's a little different.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Yeah, but all you
basically
can see is a bunch of people running around and shooting at you, so you just think it's soldiers.
Yeah,
And you killed all those people too.
yeah,
47 people.
yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, it gets pretty graphic when you get into there.
yeah.
Which,
People are melting.
Yeah.
I love walking past it, and some guy's like, "Where am I?" I'm like, "You're there, motherfucker," and I shoot him in the face.
yeah. Well, I was shooting all the ones that were like crawling and moving around because I was like, I'm
Those
just gonna
guys,
injure
I'm like,
suffering.
"You can suffer."
And then there's that one that was like, why? Why did you do it?
Yeah, we were trying to save everyone.
Yeah.
I'm so confused what he meant by that. They were shooting at me.
Yeah.
Why would you kill us when we were shooting at you? Why?
Which, I mean, I definitely would feel bad, but like, yeah, you were getting shot at.
Yeah,
so,
like I was
it's
so
that is
again,
confusing. I didn't really think about
this
that.
game was going in a different direction, and I think they decided that the end of the game wasn't good enough, so they just changed the whole fucking thing and
Maybe.
redid the lines. Because certain lines in there, you're like, okay, it seems like you're the bad guys now.
Yeah.
And maybe
definitely throughout like half the game, you
and
kind of went.
I think
in
maybe
and
in
out
the
of-
beginning of the game process when they were making it, they wanted them to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, which would make sense with what all the shit you did.
Which one of the other cool parts for me was watching the reveal at the end, and when it showed back all the moments from earlier when you were just talking to yourself.
Yeah. Also, what I realize now, remember the first mission?
Yeah.
You try to save those soldiers,
Yeah.
and then it never comes up again.
True.
Because they say you have to rescue this guy. I don't remember if I rescued anyone. Did we rescue anyone?
We got to him, but I think he died right as we got to him. Because that was the guy inside the airplane.
No. That's the guy who
Oh,
tells
that
you.
was a
You have to
yeah.
rescue what's-his-face, and then you never rescue him.
Because somebody else told you about that guy, and then that guy told you about the other guy you were supposed to be looking for, if I remember right. And
No.
then- but yeah, I don't know if we ever.
Very confusing. So I think, like I said, I think they meant to write this game differently because there clearly was a resistance, but the resistance was dead.
Yeah, and it was really hard to tell like which, because it's like I don't know if the CIA was bad, if the military was bad, if all the military was bad, or just the rogue 33rd Squadron was bad.
Yeah, like it was so
And then
hard
it's
to
like,
fucking tell.
Was there more than just the 33rd Squadron?
Were you just
there?
killing everyone uninhibited? Like I just
Well, and even them saying like it was the 33rd Squadron, like squadrons are not 800.
no, they are. They're huge.
Oh, are
Squadron
they?
are thousands of people.
Okay.
So it's a squadron thousands, and then they divide up a squadron into divisions.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
I
the
was thinking
squadrons are
divisions, not
actually huge.
squadrons,
So
yeah.
they'd send like multiple squadrons into a war zone normally. I don't know why they only sent one into this
Yeah.
fucking horror zone, but yeah. So it's just this game got really confusing on what they meant to do, I think, and that's where a lot of my aberrations with the story come from, because I'm like, okay, so what I want is, Conrad to be the main bad guy and the main good guy.
Yes.
That's what I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted me to be Conrad, because in my head it makes so much sense. Like, I've done shitty things over the last 6 months. I've killed most of the 33rd. A lot of civilians
and
died.
They almost look similar at the end.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too.
Aged. Yeah.
And that's why I thought years passed too.
Yeah.
I was so confused. And I love like the ending and what they did. Just the fact that you're a different person still is what drove that ending to be kind of shitty for me.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I'm sure you guys are probably confused too. Like us sounding confused and us not knowing exactly what happened in the game. Like that's what the feeling of playing this game is. You just
weird.
don't get every aspect of it. You're wondering what the fuck's going on. You're like,
Tell you, man.
What just happened? Like there was times where like a lot of times I played like 3 to 5 missions at a time.
Yeah. Would you shut up?
Sorry, man. You need to sneeze there. But yeah, I'd play 3 to 5 missions at a time, and sometimes I'd get back to it, and I start playing, and I was like, wait, wasn't he good? Wait, bad? I'm so confused. And like, I would even just get that in my head. Like, it's hard even coming up with what happened in the game, because I'm like, I am just confused. Especially you bringing up some of the points I didn't think about. I'm like, yeah, they really were really contradictory on most of the things in this game.
I really think that, again, their writing started out on a certain level, and then they changed maybe either writers, maybe they went to a different. They brought it to their developer, and they were like, we don't like it, please redo it. Yeah, they could have been all of those things. I was just thinking about something. Oh, yeah, my least favorite part of this game. Least favorite. We're at the radio tower. We find the guy.
Yeah.
He's super cool. He is so cool. He's smoking a joint. He's
like wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt and like
talking
shorts
about
and sandals.
Like, he's giving the soldiers props. He's like saying like how cool Lugo is.
Yeah.
And then Lugo shoots him in the fucking face twice.
Yeah,
what a fucking dick.
Like he
this
was
is why I
helping
was
you out.
so happy. Well, he was also trying to kill him throughout the entire game, but I don't think like if he was or was not, they would have still gotten shot at. Like, So, and I think he was being forced anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shoots him in the face, and I'm like, "What, Lugo? What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?"
Well, and he wasn't even like completely sure how to use every part of his technology and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with how he created all that out of basically scrap shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, before getting everything he needs from him, he shoots him. Like,
Yeah.
I would understand maybe shooting him when you leave, but that was like really quick and
his last words, he's like, "Thanks." Bam, bam. Like, fucking Lugo. This is why I was so glad when he died.
Yeah.
By the way, Lugo's death also, like, I said favorite part, but it's kind of fucked.
It's really fucked.
He gets hung by the civilians in a town.
Yes.
He goes to find refuge. But the civilians don't like the soldiers because they're trying to control them.
Yeah.
And they don't know the difference between, like, good, bad soldiers, which I don't even know the difference at this point.
I don't either.
So Lugo gets hung, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
And that's when Adams tries to kill all these civilians.
Which,
I think you could shoot the civilians or you can shoot the ground. I shot the ground.
You can shoot the civilians. I was curious if you could, and I did.
Of course you did.
I was curious, and I was like, you killed Lugo.
Well, and Adams said, like, when I shot the ground, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here right now.
Yeah.
Before we change our minds." So I'm guessing shooting the civilians brings on a different voice line.
He says that, and then I think I started shooting. And then he was just, like, screaming at them, just like, "Get the fuck away from us!"
Yeah.
And then he ran into Lugo. Lugo! And then they tried doing CPR on him.
No, this happened after.
After what?
So after you save Lugo, they're all surrounding you. Or not save, but after he dies, all the civilians are surrounding you. You have the choice to shoot at them or shoot the ground. Yeah. And I shot the ground, and that's when he says, like,
Sorry,
everyone get away.
Beforehand,
But I think that shooting the civilians brings on a different voice line.
I don't remember
if it doesn't,
exactly
then why the fuck would they even do it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it was kind of like, are they wanting us to do that? Kind of like, I can't remember which Call of Duty it was that did that.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game, where you just had to kill a bunch of civilians. I guess you didn't have to, and you could have skipped that mission, but, like, this didn't even have that. Whereas, like, you can skip this mission because you could kill a lot of civilians.
Yeah. So, another part in this game that probably should mention the choice.
Oh, of the two hanging people?
So I'm confused here, because I'm like, were the snipers real?
I don't
think
think
probably
so.
not,
I
right?
don't think so.
So you're given a choice by Conrad, who at this point is not real.
Yes.
You, Walker, is the only person who's going through this shell shock. Adams and Lugo don't hear Conrad talking.
Yeah.
You have a walkie-talkie that's broken, by the way.
Yes.
That he's talking through somehow, but it's
Yeah.
just all in your head. And there's 2 dead hanging bodies. And when you get up to them, it's a soldier and it's a
Thief of some kind?
a thief.
Yeah.
So the soldier's job was to go get the thief who stole bread for his family and accidentally killed his family.
Yes.
So they're both hanging and he has to make a choice because someone has to pay.
Yeah, and he's like, kill the person who was just trying to steal food for the family, or kill the person who wrongfully killed the family of the guy and didn't do his job by bringing in the guy who actually stole.
Yeah, so they do this choice, and you can either like shoot the rope, I think, to let them both go. But if you do that, I think you die.
Oh, okay.
Because I looked this up after, because I just shot the soldier.
I shot the soldier too.
But I ended up looking it up. I'm like, what would happen if I shot the other guy? Can I rescue anyone? And they gave you a bunch of scenarios. So if you don't shoot someone in a timely manner, they shoot Lugo and he's dead on the ground. But he's not dead. He's like, you have to heal him.
Oh,
and if you start healing him, they shoot you and kill you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. If you shoot one of the ropes down, the soldiers shoot the guy. They shoot both. They shoot both either way, I think. I think they shot the other guy
I think so.
even after you shot him. But they shoot both, and he claims his disappointment in you. And then if you shoot one of them, he's like, good choice, and then shoots the other one anyway.
Yeah, because if you shoot the soldier, he says, not the choice I would have chosen, but I can see why you chose that, or something like that.
So it's just interesting. Like, no matter what, you can't win that scenario. But both bodies are dead anyway. It's all in your fucking head.
Yeah, which when you're watching the recap of everything, it is really weird seeing how broken that walkie-talkie. There's no batteries in it at all. The wires are probably like coming out of the back of it. Like the other 2 guys were like probably just like, and a lot of times in the game, it did show them being like, "What are you talking about? What are you doing?"
Yeah,
and like I didn't actually like fully understand that.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that is at no point were they like, I think he's fucking nuts, and they're like, let's still listen to him.
Right.
It's
Which I know you're
weird.
not supposed to say anything against your commander.
You are if they're going through shell shock.
I guess that's true. If
You
they're going
definitely, if you feel like they are not in command anymore, you fucking take over.
Yep.
I think that's a fair assessment.
I think that's fair too.
So, any other fucked up parts of this game you want to talk about?
I don't know if there's anything like that much more fucked up or anything.
No, I think that's it. I think we covered all the big ones.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our next segment then.
Worth, or nah.
You know, with all the problems this game had, I'll still give it a Worf. It was still fun to play. It was still like a cool. I liked some of the guns in it. I didn't like the like you said, sparse ammo is kind of hard. I get why they did it though.
Yeah.
The characters are shitty, but story's kind of subpar. But the gameplay is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
I have to give it Worf as well. I still really like, for as confusing as it is and how much problems I can see with it, I still enjoyed with what they wanted to do with it and where they went with some parts of it. And it did have that kind of like shock factor, like big reveal ending to me that I was like, what
happened?
What the fuck? I didn't expect that at all. And for me, I don't get that a lot with video games. So anytime that happens, I still think it's worth playing. So yeah, I gotta give it that, I think.
All right. Well, that's our 2 cents on this game. So, Spec Ops writers, please do better.
Yeah.
In the future, of whatever you do. If you've already done something, I'm sure it sucked.
If they did a second one, I would be interested.
No, they won't. Like I said, they just didn't have enough. There's no money in these like one-off shooters. That's the problem. Like you
feel
think
like
of
there could
what was
be.
that other game we played? The police one.
Murdered Soul Suspect?
No, the police one, the first-person shooter. That
Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah, so that one, they're not going to make a sequel. It didn't do good. It's just, it's one of those games that just doesn't have a point in making a sequel because they just made it off of a whim to try to get money.
Yeah,
and that's it. And I
they
think
did
this
it
was,
as a spin-off to see how it would do.
And I think this is a spin-off too. I'm pretty sure this is the Spec Ops series. I'm pretty sure.
It might be.
I'm
not sure.
Yeah. I think the development team even said like we'd never get together again to make another game. So
somebody else could do it.
don't do it. Don't bother. This game sucks.
Do it better.
Do it better. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed that.
Yes.
Our next week's game is
Demolition Girl.
Demolition Girl. This is a game that is a very strange. I don't even know how to describe it. You have to take pictures of this giant woman's tits and her vagina, I think. Her ass too. I'm pretty sure like that's the whole point of this game. It's not a hentai game. It's just a weird Japanese fucking game.
Yep, giant woman, and you have to
Bitten by an alien crab.
Yep, who becomes giant after that.
Yep, and you have to get her measurements. So just so you know, that's what you're expecting for next week. So
it's a bizarre game, and every once in a while we gotta throw some of those bizarre ones out because who the fuck would ever hear about these other ones?
Like literally, why not?